Good evening and welcome to the rest of the news. Well, things are really popping around here. Our special guest today is General Carl Black, a Major General retired, and he's going to tell us a little bit about what's going on in Washington.
Well, I hope I know what's going on in Washington. I don't know, but the reports that we're getting sure aren't good news reports. We're now, it seems, sending weapons of destruction to our enemy. Not weapons of mass destruction, but no less weapons of destruction. It seems that we are now going to send to Egypt and the Muslim Brotherhood 20 of the latest F-16s, most up-to-date fighters, and we're going to send them 200 M1 Abrams tanks. Now, the excuse for doing that today is that this deal was consummated in the year 2010 when Mubarak was still in charge. Well, Mubarak was a friend of the United States. However, Mr. Morsi, who is now heading up the country of Egypt, is not a friend of the United States and even less of a friend to Israel. And of course, Israel is our friend. But they had to vote recently to determine whether or not they were going to continue to send these weapons to Egypt. Every Democratic senator except two, who simply abstained from the vote, voted to send the weapons to Egypt. Now, if that were not bad enough, we had 26 of our Republican senators who joined the Democrats in that vote. And if that were not bad enough, it seems that one of our Kentucky senators, Senator Rand Paul, offered an amendment in order to not send these weapons based on the fact that the administrations had changed, the situation has changed, and we should not be doing this. But out of these 26 senators, one of our own senator from Kentucky, Senator McConnell, voted against the amendment and voted to continue to send the weapons on to Egypt.
Now that's really something. Mitch McConnell.
That's correct. He is listed as one of those 26 Republican senators who voted to send these weapons on to Egypt.
We've had information about these Muslim Brotherhood, and there was a trial, I think it's called the Holy Land trial, a few years back, where they got the Muslim Brotherhood's own documents, and they said that they were going to try to take over the United States, and that these Muslim Brotherhood organization is the mother organization that spawned all of this Al-Qaeda and all of these terrorist groups all came out of the Muslim Brotherhood, who's getting these tanks.
Mm-hmm. That's correct. That's who controls Egypt. This Morsi is head of the of the Brotherhood, and which it just blows your mind. If they were friends of ours, certainly that would be the thing to do would be to arm them, but it seems that we try to buy our friends, you know. And when you buy a friend, it's, what have you done for me lately? And then I'll decide if I'm going to be your friend or not. But Mr. Morrissey has made statements such as that Israel was a bunch of blood-sucking pigs, and that the United States, they needed to teach their children to hate the United States.
You know, General, when you mentioned this just before we started the program, we ran in and called Mitch McConnell's office, and they basically admitted that, I mean, I just couldn't believe that Mitch McConnell would vote to send all of this military equipment to the terrorists, the Muslim terrorists. I just could not believe it. So we ran in there and called him, and sure enough, he said that. And he was actually went on television a few days ago and said he was going to vote for it. I cannot believe Mitch McConnell would vote to give our military equipment to the terrorists.
You know, sometimes we have to ask ourselves, who is the real enemy? And it looks like that perhaps part of the enemy is located in a little town called Washington, D.C.
Now, let me give our viewers this phone number, because I hope you'll call Mitch McConnell's office right now and confirm this for yourself, or tell them you don't think we ought to be sending military equipment to the terrorists, or say something to them. But the number for Mitch McConnell's office, and you can call him, is area code 202-224-2541. And I'll say that again. It's area code 202-224-2541. This is a real shock to me. I can't get over it.
When we have one of our senators who is trying to block it, and then our other senator from Kentucky, they both belong to the same party. You think it's united we stand, divided we fall. That's our motto here in Kentucky.
Right.
And apparently, once you get inside the Beltway, maybe you forget that. I don't know, but you know, we need to have a united front, I think, on things.
This is unbelievable. So I hope you'll call that number right now, 202-224-2541. And, you know, Mitch McConnell's up for re-election shortly.
Yes.
And you might mention that at his office, that I don't know about you, but I can't vote for someone that's giving our military equipment to the terrorists. I could not vote for that.
No, because they're going to use it on either
us or their friends.
Exactly.
Our friends.
Exactly.
Somebody is going to run against Mitch McConnell because of this. And I don't know if any of our listeners have been thinking about it, but this is a good time to think about it. And I would tell Mitch McConnell, hey, we're not going to back somebody that votes to send our military equipment to the terrorists that are out, that are sworn to kill us.
It would seem to me that before they would agree to a vote like that, that they would try to find out what their constituents are thinking and what they're feeling before they do it. But sometimes we're told that we don't have all the information and that they're privy to information that we don't have. Well, when you start giving arms to the enemy,
it doesn't take too much.
That's right. It sure doesn't.
The other part of this argument is that the Obama administration is pushing right now. On the one hand, they're taking our weapons and giving them to the terrorists, and on the other hand, they're trying to take our guns away from them, doing everything they can to take our guns away from us. I mean, does that make sense? Does that make sense to you? Does that make sense to anybody?
No, no.
You know, I looked up a few references on gun control. You know, we're just talking, Chicago has one of the strictest gun control laws, and yet it has one of the highest crime rates. Now, right away, that tells you something.
It sure does.
In other words, there are a lot of people that use guns in this country to prevent crime. That's what the guns are for, to prevent crime. And the more people, law-abiding, conscientious citizens that have guns, the more you can push back the crime rate. So, you know, it just, somebody's got to explain all this to me, because I sure don't understand it.
We don't understand it, but they didn't vet Obama. And they don't always vet any a politician and or a president that comes in. But, you know, we ought to learn a lesson from this one. We should have learned it after the first 4 years.
Yeah.
Because this current president is taking us down the road to socialism, and there is, early on, there was some doubt as to whether or not he just, you know, didn't have his feet on the ground. He didn't have a good grasp. Well, he had his feet on the ground, and he had a good grasp, and he believes in the socialistic system. And there's no doubt that he doesn't.
You know, here's another article I read. It says most of the guns that are used in crimes are obtained illegally. So if you put more restrictions on law-abiding citizens having weapons, you're not going to stop the illegal sale of weapons.
And you're tying the hands of the honest citizen
that are there to protect everybody.
Exactly.
Okay, so here's another one. It says in United Kingdom that they had, of course, they outlawed all guns in England and got rid of them, and the gun-related deaths went down, but they had all these bombings, homemade bombs and bombing, everything, and so they just traded one murder from another. And if they had more guns, they could have probably stopped these bombings. Now, here's another one. This is a quote from Thomas Jefferson. The strongest reason for people to retain the right to keep and bear arms is as a last resort to protect themselves against the government, the tyranny of the government. That's what the Second Amendment was all about. And the Revolutionary War, the government decided to take everybody's rights away from them. Yeah. So that's why the Founding Fathers said, hey, you got to be able to have weapons in case the government tries it again.
Yep. The forefathers were very concerned about the government and the fact that they would become too big, too powerful, and the citizen would be left at their mercy. And that's what's happened.
Yeah. Here's another one that says, the issue with gun control is not really about weapons, it's about controlling people.
That's right.
So now here's something I read that I thought was really good. What was the final straw of all the grievances against England that finally started the Revolutionary War? Was it taxation without representation? Was it high tariffs? Was it corrupt British officials or quartering troops among the colonists? No, it wasn't any of that. The Revolutionary War began when British troops were sent to Lexington and Concord to confiscate America's firearms and gunpowder. Gun confiscation, just like they're trying to do here in America today, is what was the match that lit the Revolutionary War. Okay? Now, here's some more about this. Can you imagine King George III telling our founding fathers that he was going to pass a gun control law? Can you imagine that? But here, they're trying to do it right now. And here's the part that I think really impresses me the most. It doesn't matter what country you're talking about. When they pass gun control, they start getting rid of anybody that opposes their government. Okay, so here in Soviet Union they passed gun control, and then they started killing everybody that disagreed with them. Here in Turkey, they passed gun control and started killing everybody that disagreed with them, the Armenians. Here in Germany, of course, Hitler passed gun control, and then he started killing all the Jews and anybody that he didn't get along with. China had gun control, and they killed millions of people that didn't agree with them. Guatemala, the same, or Uganda, they killed 300,000 Christians that objected to his tyranny. Cambodia, the same way. It's unbelievable that, we've got to learn from history.
We do, and I don't know if you have heard the recent leak that came out of DOD, but it has to do with the president asking the leaders of the military, if required, would they fire on U.S. citizens? And if the answer is no, there is one general already that has been told to pack his bags and go home.
Are you kidding me?
No. And it's going on now, just has been leaked within the last perhaps 3 or 4 days. But this came up a couple of years ago and was dropped very quickly because even the enlisted men who were asked this question, they became very concerned about the tone of the questioning and what did that relate to. And so now we're doing it again, but this time we're doing it with the leaders. And if the leaders say, no, I would not fire on American citizens, then they're being asked to find another job. And
well, General, these are disturbing issues we're bringing up, but the thing I would like to emphasize is that we're not here just to tell people how bad things are and how they're going to get worse. We have these, what we call the yellow letter, and we'd like to send you one of these. And what this yellow letter is, it's a list of DVDs that we produce, like this one that we're producing right now, and we have at least 12 of them now, and we would like to send you a DVD of this program so you can share it with people. And we've got 12 other similar programs that we would like to send you, and guess what? They're all free because we're concerned about what the general just told us and a lot of other things, and we think it's time to stop sitting around and letting things happen. It's time to get involved in these issues, and it's very serious. It seems like we're beginning to lose the public opinion conflict, and people don't hear the other side. All they hear is what the liberal television stations say, and they don't really have much understanding of how serious these things really are, or they don't even know what's happening.
America's got to wake up, and you can't wait for somebody to come and tell you anymore. We used to trust the newspapers. We'd say, we read it in the paper, it's got to be right. Well, that's not so anymore.
Exactly.
And what we have to do as Americans, we have to start finding out for ourselves. And we've got to get off of our backside and find out for ourselves. And then when we're told something, we can refute it or we can accept it, but at least we'll know.
That's right. Now, all we're asking for you to do is let us send you one of these DVDs. They're free, and we just want to send it to you. And we just want you to give us permission to send this to you, and we're asking you to look at it, and if you can, show it to somebody else. And if they like it, there's a phone number, I think, on all of these DVDs. You call that phone number, and we'll send you another one free that you can give to your friend. And so all we're asking you to do is to let us send you these DVDs and look at them and show them to a friend or give them to a friend and keep the thing going, because there's a lot of information that is crucial, and it's just getting very serious now, and we need to get the information out to you and to other people. See, now you and I can sit here and talk about things, and that's all well and good, but we need thousands of people to get involved in what's going on to stand up for America. So if you will give this call, this number right now, 893-2444, 893-2444. You can call that number right now, and if no one answers the phone, leave your name and phone number and address on the answering machine, and we'll send you a copy of this program with General Black, and we'd like you to share it with somebody else. And also we will send you this yellow letter so that you can see the other DVDs that are available. And there's all kinds of issues here, and we'll be glad to send them to you for free, and more of them for free. And we'll send you another one every month. You just let us know which ones you like, and we'll send them out to you. And we will just get people informed about what's going on in our country today. So we really need your help. And all we're asking you to do is look at the DVD and show it to somebody else, and we'll be glad to send it to you for free. And because you say, well, why are you sending it for free? Because we're concerned about what the general just said and what's going on and all these other DVDs. And, you know, it's time to start trying to turn things up, turn things around, and tell other people what's going on. This is a calendar about the Founding Fathers, and it's quotes from the Founding Fathers. Now, I think just yesterday alone, we signed up 20 people that are going to take these DVDs and show them to other people. And we hope to get 20 more every day. We would like to get hundreds of people that we can send these DVDs to that are showing them to other people and getting the word out about what's going on in our country today. So it seems to be exploding like a bonfire or something, an explosion. But there are a lot of people that are concerned. They hear bits and pieces about this and that, and they're very concerned, and they don't know what to do about it. This is it. You just give us a call, 893-2444, and we'll get these DVDs out to you. We'll get a DVD of this program with General Black, and I tell you, all we're asking you to do is to show it to somebody else, and we'll get the word out. And if you want, give Mitch McConnell a call and ask him why he voted to give all these weapons to the terrorists. I still can't get over that. His number again is 202-224-2541. Give him a call and ask him what's going on. Well, what else can I tell you? There's a lot of these DVDs. Here's DVDs about the Muslim Brotherhood. Here's the DVD about One Nation Under God with Dr. Dobson and David Barton. Here's another one about our public schools and all of the problems that are going on in our public schools. Here's another one of my favorites is Curtis Bowers speaking about, you know, this problems that are coming up. His children, he has several children, and they sing a wonderful patriotic and spiritual song. Here's a CD by Robert Cochran of the old-time hymns. We need to get back. I think everybody ought to have one of those. And here's a DVD on the creature from Jekyll Island about some of the Federal Reserve System problems. So we'd like to get all this out to you, and it's free.
Can't beat that deal.
And all we have to do is show it to somebody.
Yeah.
And if you can show it to somebody, then it's twice as many people that are involved. And I don't know what else to tell you, but we would like to get this information out to you. We need you. America needs you. And we need to work together. Every single person is important. And we thank the Lord for General Black here, who's bringing us up to date on some of these crucial issues. But everybody needs to hear what's going on and tell somebody else about it. There are a lot of problems with the gun control. If they take control of our guns and try to get the guns away from the law-abiding citizens, there are going to be lots of problems down the road as far as trying to take all of our other rights away. Someone said if we don't have the Second Amendment right, then that's the only thing that keeps the other rights that we have, that somebody's going to try to take all the freedom of speech, the freedom to assembly, the freedom of religion. We're going to lose everything if they take the guns away, because I think it was Ronald Reagan that said the government is not the answer to all of our problems. It's the cause of a lot of them.
I would like to say that Switzerland has universal military training. All of their people have to go into the military at an early age. They keep them a couple of 3 years. They train them how to shoot a gun, how to handle a gun, and so forth. And when that enlistment's over, they send them home. But they just don't send them home. They send them home with the gun.
Amen.
And Switzerland has one of the lowest crime rates of anybody. So it's not the gun that's killing the people. As Dr. Simon said, it's the people who are killing the people.
And if they don't use a gun, they'll use a knife or a bomb.
Exactly, or whatever they can get a hold of to do it. And it's not the gun. I've never seen a gun get up from the corner and run over and shoot somebody.
Yeah.
Never seen it.
There's a lot of people saying, oh, we got to get rid of guns because of all these children being killed. But really, I think the reason children are being killed is because they are not taught the Ten Commandments. They're not taught right and wrong. They say, oh, everything's okay. And they're not taught creation science, that there's a God who made us, and we're all made in the image of Almighty God, and everybody is important because they're made in God's image. Well, all that went out the window when prayer and the Ten Commandments went out the window. God bless you, General Black, and tune in again next week for the rest of the news.